This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi friends, Rusty back here with your latest Meteo Mundo forecast. It is early Wednesday, February the 7th. Hope you've been having a good day. We do have a dangerous flooding situation developing in portions of the Caribbean. Before we get started, some of you might have noticed that we brought back our live radar streaming here at Meteo Mundo. We brought it back this afternoon. So if you're looking for current conditions in your area, the temperature, the wind, satellite radar data, pop into the Meteo Mundo live tab at any time. We'll be streaming our live radar system here virtually 24/7. It's just one of the perks of being a subscriber here at Meteo Mundo. You can get those real-time updates in your area. Speaking of subscribers, we've had a lot of new ones and we want to welcome you. If my subscribers want to do me a big favor, just hit the like button on this video right now. I appreciate it. You're not a subscriber, come on. Subscribe. You want those updated forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. We got you covered. Also, remember, we've started memberships here at Meteo Mundo. You get access to exclusive member detailed forecast videos, custom badges and emojis during the live chat. 99 cents a month. That's all it is to become a member here at Meteo Mundo. So hit that join button now. It's a great way to also support the channel. Let's get into it. As our live stream radar was showing you this afternoon, we've been monitoring what's going to end up being a fairly significant flood potential for portions of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and eventually into the Leeward Islands later tonight and into tomorrow. So take a look at what's been happening here. Now, over the last couple of hours, the most significant cloud coverage has worked its way east of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and into the northern side of Leeward Islands, although there is still some significant rain falling right now, and we've got flash flood watches that are currently up for a good part of this area. So generally speaking, the heaviest rain late on this Wednesday and then overnight into Thursday is going to shift east into the northern side of the Leeward Islands, including Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis as well. So we'll get into that. The first thing I really want to do right now is look at our live radar data here. Again, we can look at the radar data out of Puerto Rico. This is updating live for you right now. Might take just 1 second for the sweep to come on, but you can see that the island is still covered up in some rain here on this early Tuesday evening, and everything is again moving from kind of southwest to northeast, but we have these banding features developing as well. So we've had well more than 4 inches of rain in portions of Puerto Rico here over the last 24 hours. It has led to some flash flooding. The flood watch continues in this area until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So for the entire island, but especially the eastern and the southern sides of the island, that's been where the heaviest rain has been a bit more concentrated. We've had good downpours, we've had good thunderstorm activity, and everything has shifted off to the east as we've gone through the day. We've had some significant storm activity in St. Croix. There's another band that'll be working its way through later this evening as well. So for our friends in Christiansted, again, just keep an eye out for heavy rain across the island. And that extends up to St. John and St. Thomas as well, Charlotte Amalie, and the Cruz Bay area there on the western side of St. John. We continue to see heavy downpours. There'll be some lightning with this, some thunderstorm activity producing several inches of rain. Up to 4 inches of rain has also fallen in portions of these areas, with more rain to come later tonight, at least through early tomorrow morning. The rain is shifting east to the British Virgin Islands, places like Tortola, Roadtown, and then on off towards the east, and eventually the rain beginning to fall now, but it's going to pick up in even more intensity in the northern side of the Leeward Islands, Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bartholomew, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbuda, and Antigua. Many of these areas are either already under a flash flood watch or will go under a flash flood watch later tonight. So let's talk about that potential rain. So I'm going to zoom back out and we're going to look at our model products here. So let's sneak back into this area and then kind of talk about what's going to be happening here over the next couple of days. So let me loop this up over the 5-day period. It's just going to allow this model to freely run here. And then I'm going to stop it. And we're going to go basically hour by hour, because the main focus is going to be the remainder of today and then through tomorrow. It'll get better after that, but there could be some isolated areas of up to 8 inches of rain in total from this storm system here with the additional rainfall that we're going to see tomorrow. So let's break this down. So let me sneak it back to tonight at about 10 o'clock. You can still see, and I'll just show you the broad perspective here. We'll just go ahead and include almost everyone that will be under these flash flood watches, and I'll zoom in a little bit here in just a second, but you get the idea. This is a huge slug of moisture for this time of the year. There's ample lift in the atmosphere, moisture coming in out of the south. The winds are turning out of the northwest with that large area of low pressure in the western Atlantic. And look at the heavy rain setup tomorrow afternoon. This is widespread heavy rain for the northern side of the Leeward Islands. It gets better in Puerto Rico. It'll eventually get better in the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands. So the focus tomorrow, friends, is going to be the northern side of the Leeward Islands. Let's get into it here. Again, we'll take a look at it. I'm going to stair step it back one more time. But if you live in these areas, you should prepare for the rain to set in late tonight, especially overnight, and then waves of heavy rain and storms throughout Thursday. It probably won't let up until very late Thursday, if not even early on Friday. And again, the areas I've already mentioned, Anguilla, Barbuda, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat included in that. Could see some heavier rain in Guadeloupe. They are not under a flash flood watch currently. And then, as I've mentioned in previous videos, the rain does begin to break apart as it moves farther off to the south. We'll get some downpours in Martinique and St. Lucia and maybe Barbados, but no flood potential there, just not a long enough duration time frame. Again, and I want to include the British Virgin Islands here. When I go back into this loop, you'll see that rain moving through Road Town. And even still some heavier rain for St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix, but especially for Saba and St. Bartholomew and St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, Antigua, Barbuda. Those are the areas that's going to have the highest opportunity for the most rain over the next day or so. So let's break down the flooding impacts in general. For Puerto Rico, the flood watch goes until 6 a.m. Thursday morning. For Anguilla and the British Virgin Islands, the flash flood watch goes until 8 a.m. on Thursday. Again, these areas could have an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain. The most significant rain could still fall in places like Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis. Those areas are under a flash flood watch beginning at 8 p.m. Wednesday evening through at least 8 p.m. on Thursday evening. And again, some of these areas have already had 4 inches of rain. An additional up to 4 more inches could fall. So there could be some isolated totals of around 8 inches of rain. It's going to be isolated in nature, but that's the kind of rain that we've been seeing with this system. So I'm going to keep a really close eye on it for you, friends. Obviously, again, our live streaming radar will keep you covered in these areas. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the rain over the next 5 days, since I'm already on this product, and then we'll get into the wind that's going to be happening in the Bahamas. Now, this will continue to be the best concentration of moisture in the area. I don't expect to see a lot of rain down towards Trinidad and Tobago and areas like that. And even the ABC Islands, it's going to become a little bit drier as well. So again, southern side, the Windward Islands here, spottier rain, even as far north as Barbados. It's an isolated shower at best, but the moisture is beginning to kind of fall apart. Same thing for the ABC Islands. You've had some rain over the last couple of days. Still could see some rain later tonight in portions of your Thursday, but in general, will begin to dry out as we get into Friday and especially over the weekend. Maybe not completely dry, but it's also been extremely hot in these areas, especially from Dominique and St. Lucia south. We had highs today easily in the lower 90s, so it's been pretty toasty. For my friends in Jamaica, again, we've had some good downpours. We've had some additional rain lately, and that's good news because, as I've mentioned, the rain chances begin to break apart in this area as well. So you're not going to see a lot of green on the map after late tomorrow and on Friday for Kingston and Portmore and Spanish Town, Mandeville, Maypen, Montego Bay, and Negril, Ocho Rios as well. Isolated showers there, but at least you've got the north wind, and you've been able to knock the humidity down a little bit in Jamaica as well. It's been relatively dry across the Yucatan, my friends in Belize City. Hispaniola, again, the moisture kind of just snuck east. We've had some showers in Punta Cana today, but generally speaking, it's been more spotty in nature across the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And again, although there could be a few showers in the forecast as we get towards the weekend, there's just not as much rain. Everything is pushing off towards the east. Now, one area that has been significantly impacted by the wind is our friends in the Bahamas. So let's switch over actually to our satellite here. And I'm going to go over to our visible satellite because I love this product. You're going to see the spin in the Western Atlantic. Now, again, we're losing a bit of the daylight here as I'm recording this. So we're losing just a little bit of that, but I love to show you that and we've had howling north winds. As a matter of fact, let's switch over and take a look at the current winds. The first thing that's going to pop on are the temperatures, which, by the way, it's been pretty cool today in the Bahamas with Freeport just around 74 daytime high. And these are some of the winds. Now, they're relaxing a little bit today. That's good news. But off the east coast of Florida, you can see we've had some 30+ knot winds. Over the last couple of hours, we haven't reported a wind gust in Freeport and in Nassau. Some of the strongest winds have actually been into the central side of the Bahamas and then down into the Turks and Caicos there, where they recorded a 35-mile-an-hour wind. But it's all been a very fresh wind here. The gale warning should expire this evening, and then the winds will be lightening up after that. That is great news. But again, we've also had some good rainfall here, but the air behind this system is drying out. You can see that here where the air is drying out as the system pulls away. And look what that's doing to Bermuda right now. They are getting gusts of over 40 miles an hour. So in general, we are seeing drier air coming back in. Now, this is extremely moisture-laden air over the northern side of the Leeward Islands. That's where the concentration is. So you'll notice that as we dry out, we're actually going to see the winds relax a little bit as well. We end up overall getting into a little bit nicer forecast as we move towards the weekend in general. There'll be some areas I'll be monitoring here, but we'll take a look at the wind vector product here, and you'll start to see those winds, again, moving away, kind of turning out of the north for a time and then swinging back to the east. So guess what happens? We pick up our easterlies again through the Caribbean after the rain comes through. That's going to start to moderate our temperatures again. It's going to get warmer in a couple of spots. I mean, I know it's already pretty steamy down in the Windward Islands, but in other areas where it's been more rain cooled, it'll start to get a little bit toastier for us here. And it'll also begin to dry out a bit, at least a bit, as we get into the weekend. Let's take a look at the European model pressure. I'm gonna take myself off camera real quick. Again, we'll see that area of low pressure move away. Winds should begin to diminish as it does so. But again, we've had gale conditions over the Bahamas the last couple of days. It's been very breezy with the rain in Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and the northern side of the Leeward Islands. And things will get a little bit better as far as that goes, as that low moves away. Again, if this was if this was August, this would have been some kind of a tropical system. It certainly brought tropical storm conditions. As far as the waves go, again, we've had double-digit wave heights in the open seas just from the northeast side of the Bahamas. We're going to stay with the northeast wind at least for the next couple of days. That'll turn more to the east, but we're finally going to see the sea conditions relax a little bit. Again, the gale warnings will expire. Small craft should still exercise caution on Thursday, but the wave heights will continue to diminish, and that is good news because, again, we had potentially up to 14 and 18-foot wave heights in the open waters of the Atlantic on the northeast side of the Bahamas here the last couple of days. We'll get below double digits tomorrow, and then those sea conditions will relax. Notice that, again, we're still going to stay with the northerly wind and kicked up sea conditions on the northern side of the islands that are going to continue to get some of the heavier rain, and we'll start to pick more of that easterly breeze as we get through the rest of the Caribbean, especially over the weekend. Okay, let's talk about total rainfall in our areas here. So let me switch back over to the rain product, and then we'll go over to our total precipitation map. And as I do so, again, thank you very much for liking the video. You get an opportunity to hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, do it. We got you covered here at Meteo Mundo. Going to take off the wind layer, and we're then going to look at the rainfall total over the next 5 days. So I'm going to extend this out until Sunday and even into early on Monday morning. That's fine. So it's pretty clear to see where the bullseye of this heavier rain is going to be. Now, again, let it be known, the majority of this will fall between right now and Thursday evening or at the latest Friday morning. So this is a pretty concentrated time frame to see these totals. And again, this is additional rain from what has already fallen because I'm starting the model at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. So additional rain, we could have, again, additionally, 1 to 2 inches of rain on the eastern side of Puerto Rico, and then off the coastal islands, Esperanza and Culebra. For my friends in St. Croix, again, still some heavier rain on the border. You are not done, maybe up to 2 more inches. Let's go on into St. Thomas there near Charlotte Amalie, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain. We're spiking over 2 inches of rain for Cruz Bay and into St. John, towards Tortola and my friends in the Roatan area of the British Virgin Islands. Roatan will pop on, I promise you. There you go. Almost 3 additional inches of rain, and that kind of rain is expected for the rest of the British Virgin Islands. It's not going to shock me if we go 3 to maybe even 5 additional inches of rain. If you live in this area, drop it in the comment section below across the region I'm talking about. Let me know what you've been seeing. Let me know, obviously, you've been having to deal with any flash flooding. Again, the flood threat goes up for Anguilla and St. Martin and St. Bartholomew and St. Kitts and Nevis. Look at Barbuda. How about that? 4 inches of rain in our model with locally higher amounts. Same thing for Antigua. So again, it's this part of the Leeward Islands that we're most concerned about down towards Montserrat. When you get down towards Guadeloupe, I think that's the farthest south island that could have some heavier rain. It's not going to be as much as areas to the north. And then there's a sharp cutoff. It will be spottier rain. It'll be some downpours, but nothing to worry about ourselves with flood concerns. St. Lucia down towards St. Vincent, Barbados, just about 1/4 of an inch of rain, and even lower amounts overall, Grenada, Trinidad, and Tobago. But again, this huge moisture plume, it's just west of these islands, but then covers up the northern side of the Leeward Islands. That's the big story here over the next 36 hours or so. Not a lot of rain for Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. Again, additional showers the next couple of days. You could get another 1/2 inch. It's not bad for early February, is it? And then we just see lower amounts overall for everyone else. If we look at our friends in Jamaica, again, as I've mentioned, my friends there in Ocho Rios and Kingston and Portmore, a spotty shower is possible the next couple of days. I just don't have a lot for you as far as actual totals. Drop in the comment section below if you've had a nice little downpour. And again, let me know if it feels at least a little bit drier. We should have a little bit lower humidities across the island the next couple of days with the north winds. That's going to change as we get into the weekend. And again, over the Bahamas, now we're beginning to dry out. So now we're starting to see those rain chances fall as well. But obviously, some significant impacts to continue to follow here across Puerto Rico, especially the Virgin Islands and the north side Leeward Islands. Of course, you can follow us across all of our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, X. We got a Facebook page. You want to send us a picture or video, it is mymeteomundo@gmail.com. You got a second to go on and to follow us on the rest of those social media platforms. I appreciate it. Once again, if you want the latest current conditions in between these video updates, look for the live tab in our live streaming radar system. I promise you we got you covered. Thank you so much, friends. Again, thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon right here on Meteo Mundo.